fasting, you think that it's going to work for you. And
Right.
the truth of the matter is that everyone's body is different. Everyone has a different history, has different genetics, and there is no one size fits all. And for me, I did everything that most people would do. So I started demonizing carbs. So I
Mhm.
wasn't eating pasta, I wasn't eating bread. I would eat really, really clean
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. And then on Friday night, it'd be like one innocent piece of pizza would lead to an entire pizza and a bag of
Mhm.
chips and the ice cream, because I had this mentality of, well, if I've already ruined my day, then I'm just going to eat all the foods for the weekend and start again and be good on Monday. I did the calorie counting. So I did extremely low calories, 1200, 1500 calories, where you're depriving yourself of enough fuel. You're
Right.
hungry all the time, and you think that you're doing it in the name of health, but really it's not self-care. You're just harming your body.
You got that right. Oh, we like that. That really hits me in a personal space because I remember when I was on the wrestling team, and you know you got to drop weight pretty fast, you know, to make a certain weight class for those who are not too familiar with wrestling, and when it came to time to weigh in, you know, or it was getting close to that day, you know, for meet, like I was a young guy, you know, and not that informed. So I go out and buy the hugest diet powder there is, chucking that stuff down, getting all type of those different lozenges that cause you to go to the restroom at constant time. So like it was crazy, you know.
Mhm.
But once I learned that I was harming myself, I felt even more bad. Did a lot of that guilt come up for you? And can you describe like how you maybe process that better?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it's funny because I didn't really know how much I was harming my body until years later, until
Right.
I was out of it and I look back on my behaviors and I realize like, oh my goodness, I really neglected myself. I neglected my mental health. I neglected my physical health. But in the moment, the guilt wasn't about my behaviors. The guilt came from thinking I wasn't doing enough, thinking
Mm.
I wasn't trying hard enough, because if when I was dieting, I would maybe be able to be good for a couple of weeks, and then of course I would break because I was relying on this willpower that can only last for so long. I would fall off the wagon, and then I would undo all of the efforts that I was trying so hard. And the guilt came from that, from thinking there was something wrong with me because I couldn't make it work and I couldn't be good enough and I couldn't stick to anything. That was the biggest part. And that's something I see the most in my clients, the people I
Mhm.
work with, is thinking that there's something wrong with them when it really is just their approach was never meant to work in the first place.
Whew, man, you really bringing the heat there, and like you, and like if we can just hold it right there, and like really hone in on just that particular subject right there, and it's not even to switch gears at all, but I think so many people, particularly in this Western culture, rather it be Canada, rather it be America, rather it be the UK, no matter what we're talking about, just Western culture, many and I, and those who are pressured easily by impressible by social media, when you get looking down the news feed and you seeing the body types and you say, wow, like you said, am I trying hard enough? Am I doing the right things?
Mhm.
So like we really have to like uh, be careful now because we so fragile. What we expose ourselves on a constant basis. Head to head is. Do you think this is like one of the hugest pressing issues, for a lot of people, that the social media culture has really, pushed them even harder to want to try to the point where they're neglecting, mental health, they're neglecting, body health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that I used to follow these accounts on social media thinking that it would give me more to motivation and
Hmm.
it would encourage me. And the fact of the matter is that number one, you only see what they're putting out on social media.
Right.
You don't see what's going on behind the scenes. You don't see, they might be posting pictures at the gym every day or eating all this healthy food. They might be really, really unhappy and really unhealthy on the inside. I
Hmm.
know that when I was dieting and when I was going through my extremes, I did go through phases where maybe my body looked really good. I was really skinny and maybe really muscular. I was also
Yeah.
depressed, but no one would know that because no one puts that on social media. People only put the good stuff.
Right.
And to compare your back door to someone else's front door, it's just harmful because then you think there's something wrong with you. Why can't I be as happy and as healthy and as, balanced as this other person when you don't really know what's going on for that person?
Whew. You really speaking, the truth right now, and I think that is the smoke screen that needs to be just ripped down totally, so people can get that through, and uh, I think your work really really can help a lot of people, tear that smoke screen uh, away from just what they're looking at, because there is struggles, for every individual, rather they're doing the right thing or not.
hmm And this is something I actually do with my clients right from the beginning is I call it a social media detox. And
Mhm.
I say, let's either block or remove or, mute any accounts that make you feel worse about yourself. And a lot of the times, these can be accounts that you think have been motivating you and encouraging you, but when you're looking at it and you tune in on your actual energy, when you look at these accounts, you realize that when you look at that picture, you feel guilt and you feel discouraged and defeated with your own progress. That
Mhm.
account, it's not helpful for you. It's not helpful to be tearing yourself down every day. You need to look at real accounts that talk about real problems, that talk about real issues, and that encourage your goals. And if your goals are to be healthier in a way that makes sense, that is realistic, that is sustainable, then you need to look at accounts that align with that message, not some that make you feel like you're not doing enough.
Exactly. uh, Now, we are going to switch gears a little bit now. When we think about, body positivity, a lot of that has been at the forefront of the mainstream now, and a lot of people just don't know what to do with it. And there's been those who has pushed back against it. There's those who, has taken it to a whole nother level within saying that, like, hey, I'm just going to be who I am, what I am, and uh, if I'm unhealthy, I'm unhealthy. So how do we strike a balance, where we can still feel good about ourselves, and but also not feel like we're being shamed for, doing, what in respects is going to keep us living.
Yeah, good question. So I always tell my clients and my community is if right now you're in a place where you truly hate your body, where you truly have a lot of self-hatred about who you are, then going straight to body positivity, it's gonna be a lot of fake it till you make it. And a lot of the
Right.
times it just doesn't feel authentic. And you're just trying to put forward a face that's not true. And you can't fake that. And so I do believe that yes, eventually you do want to get to a point where you are body positive, but the first step is to get to body neutrality.